Hi guys, it's Katy with Gummy Buddies. We are just going to preface this episode with a disclaimer. Unfortunately, last week's episode, we did not realize we had some major audio issues and our microphone... Cheeky! I'm cheeky! Well, anyways, we had to deal with audio issues, so please still enjoy the episode. We didn't want to redo it for show. We wanted to make it authentic, and I fixed it up as best I could. So if you can muddle through, we really enjoyed this topic. Thanks.
This is Katy.
And this is Patience.
And we're Gummy Buddies. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. This is going to be our last podcast. Don't. If you walk one more time, I'm going to whack it in the face. This is our last podcast before Valentine's Day.
January's almost over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2025.
Yep. January 24th today.
Did you say today?
I thought you said January 25. What did you just say?
2025. Woo!
Oh. Woo! We have a cat that keeps bothering us. Hopefully he behaves. Scout out.
Free cat, anyone?
Yeah, so we're back. Back again. Nope. Don't get sued.
I was about to do it too.
So, we have a couple things on the agenda before we click and dive in.
Yes.
First thing, we have redone our peepees, repurposed them, made them better for your pleasure. So, yeah, hi.
Hi.
I promise there's another person.
I am here. It's a contest now.
Mm-hmm.
You can submit it.
Yes.
Just.
Do you want me to do you? All right. Okay. So, what we're doing at the launch of our Patreon, we decided to do a snack.
Snack attack.
One moment. The Scout is biting my toe. Scout, move. Jeez, you fat cat. Oh, sorry. That
I
was
swear we just went at the same time.
That's going to be such a pain.
Oh, he's playing with the Nerf dart.
Oh. Wait, maybe we should just throw it across the room. Great. You just did a somersault under my chair. Right here. Is that what you want? Oh, I just claw it halfway into the soft tissue with my fingertip.
Your feet now.
Oh. Scout! Here. Go get it.
It's in here.
So go. There it goes. There you go. It worked. You're a genius.
Your wound.
I need workman's comp from our gummy buddies that we have none of.
We don't have HR yet.
Take it. We're just going to make Christian be the HR, the camera guy, the makeup crew.
Back on track.
Back on track.
You can submit to the contest by just emailing us or DMing us on any of our platforms.
Mm-hmm. At Gummy Buddies Podcast. We are on everything. We're on the TikToks, Instagrams. We're on Patreon, which is fully launched, by the way. We've got a couple videos up on there. We're excited. We're going to be adding more every week. We're going to put a new video on there. So stay tuned. And every week, right? That's what we...
Yeah, every week.
So, got lots of fun stuff planned for that. And I mean really special stuff. We have the beginner's subscription fee of $3. That was the lowest amount that was recommended. So we are wanting to give you guys some new stuff. So that's where all our fancy visuals are going to be coming from, is the Patreon. But for the contest, you submit your favorite Gummy Buddies quote. And
any quote.
Yeah,
any quote you thought was cool.
Mm-hmm. It could be
or
this,
stupid.
Right now. What I'm about to say, which will be momentous. Pecans? Dang it.
One of our viewers keeps talking about the word foliage and how it's used.
Yeah, so you could submit the word foliage. Anyways, we're going to pick our favorite of the submissions, and that winner will get the pee-pee.
It's beautiful. We're gonna post a picture on Instagram before we send it off. That way everyone can see what it looks like.
Yes.
We're gonna put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, we've been very excited about it. It's going to be a Valentine's Day themed PP2 if we if we don't get any submissions, we're going to just totally change to Valentine's Day. So stay tuned. And you know what? We have enough fun with it. We might just do it as like a continuous thing that we do. So stay tuned.
Oh, remember we're not supposed to be saying, shoot me.
I
actually, earlier today at work, I was like talking to someone I work with, and I was like, what can I help better with, like work on? And he was basically like, well, I just have noticed you've done this once in a while, but it's way better than before. And I just go, I was like, shame on me.
You just slapped your own hand.
It's like once in a while kind of thing that rarely happens. And I was like, I gotta step my A game up. And I just smacked my hand, and he just laughed. He's like, you're so weird. It's like, I know you liked me.
All right. So I hope we made that clear. I don't know if we did. Sure.
If not, DM us. Anyways, we'll explain it.
I'll be like, what were you talking about in your bucket? So there's that. Next item on the agenda.
I also, we're going to put the school bit in there because I feel like I need to say it. I am sick. I am sick. So I'm trying
There's
to...
a cat climbing the curtain and patience is sick.
I'm trying really hard not to cough, sniffle. I feel really congested, and I know I'm going to try to talk as much as I can, and I don't want to cough in people's ears or in their car. You're welcome.
They might like it a little too much, and then they might ask for it and be like, I need more of them patience sniffing.
I just feel like I need to put like a little like boop, 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 out there.
A little disclaimer: Come Everybody's podcast is not responsible for infections that.
What if you were sick and then like you could get other people sick just by listening to them?
That's what I'm saying. It's the viruses in the computer.
Wow.
We have not claimed yet, people.
Also, our viewer,
one viewer,
I showed him
listener.
Listener.
We need that.
Yeah. I showed him how to do her.
Oh, the full circle hand salute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, I showed him with our fingers at first, and he's like, huh? I was like, you gotta do the whole effect. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, when we were in Colorado, we did Twin Peaks, so I was like, so that was fun. Anyways, back on track.
Yeah, we did that in our first Patreon video, I think, if I remember right.
I don't remember.
Check. We did it in one of them that may or may not be posted yet.
Our salute.
We'll do it again. We'll show you when we record tonight. So, gotta remember that now that I saw that, so that we're not liars. Something we're doing this weekend. I'm excited because months ago we saw an ad in our Facebook for the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. It's coming to Omaha. We've never been to it, never heard of it, just saw it in an ad and we're like, it sounds like that's up our alley. So we're going to be going and perusing. So,
and it's really cheap. It was only $15 a ticket.
Oh, really? For some reason I thought she said it was 20.
That's what I think the ad, whatever we saw, said 20, but when I bought them, it was only 15, and because my total came out to like $30. So
sweet. Yeah, and which isn't bad if it's as good as it looks. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Continue on with like you continue for just a second. Entertain. I have to read you this because it's kind of funny. So I was reading on their website because I was like trying to buy the tickets online.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the thing, it says Expo product bans because like they talk about the vendors there.
Oh, okay. We
do not allow the sale of real bats or human remains at our shows due to the lack of confident confirmation that these items are ethically, respectfully, and responsibly sourced.
That's fair.
And I have only seen like a tidbit of pictures for the expo, and I'm like, I'm sitting here like wondering like what am I going to see? Like I'm actually really excited. So I'm going to be taking pictures over there. Yeah. And I think I'm going to post them on our Instagram. That way like people
limit the pictures we can take. I would think they let you take pictures pretty freely.
I think so too.
Kind of like a Ren Fair or something. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited though.
I want to post them on Instagram so that way everyone can kind of see. And next time we come back, we'll kind of talk about it.
How cool would it be if we actually like gained people that wanted to go to stuff like that, and then we could be like, oh, we're going to be here. It's like a little meetup. That'd be fun. Scout, you're dead to me. Sorry, that was really loud.
So, I'm doing the so thing.
Stop claiming on the podcast.
She's having a baby talk.
He's a fame chaser.
That's going to be really fun this weekend. We're going to go Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's going to be great.
We talked about going tomorrow, but we didn't want it to be like a... Sometimes the next day after the gummies, we are a little bit groggy. Not always, but sometimes we'll wake up like, or if we do a booster dose, we'll be a little extra groggy. So
kind of just out of it and want to be lazy. So I feel I want to experience the whole expo and like the excitement of what it's worth. I believe it starts at 10. Like
in
the
the
doors
AM.
open.
The
So
AM.
I kind of want to go.
What if we go to IHOP first? Genius, right?
Genius.
Yes. Okay.
Chocolate chip pancakes.
You can finally have them. She wanted IHOP so bad on our girls' trip. We didn't. Basically, like, we drove right past the only IHOP in the middle of the state of Nebraska.
But we did get McDonald's in the morning.
Yeah, we got
were like,
McDonald's.
okay, maybe we will be hungry by the time we get to IHOP.
Because we left at, like, the butt crack of dawn. Like, 3:30, 4 in the morning. I don't remember. I drove her out of bed super early. And I regret not just driving straight there. I'm so mad at myself because I was trying to time it. Anyways, long story short, pancakes were not had that day. No, they were had, but they were gross. We tried Perkins. Mm-hmm. I remember now. Ugh. Mm-mm.
Not good at all.
Nope.
Did not hit the spot.
No. Very disappointed. And I know IHOP has kind of a bad rap, but honestly, I think their pancakes are always really good.
Oh.
It was really good.
Sausage links right now sound really good too.
Okay.
Sorry, we're not on the snack time level yet. Okay.
Are you ready? I got this. Do you got this? I'll do this because you're going to do the thing. You got this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Previously on Gummy Buddies. Wait, who's Magellan? I don't know who Magellan is. I don't know. I think he was like an explorer or something.
It's your replaying.
Yeah, that was me replaying.
Okay, so last time we talked about Magellan.
Magellan that was gelling like a felon.
And
I don't know why
we're here to give you a little update on who it is, because we didn't know. Mm-hmm. It's a Portuguese-born explorer and navigator who played a key role in the first circumnavigation of the world. I'm sorry.
Yes, snap at the people.
He is best known for planning and leading the Spanish expedition from 1519 to 1522 in the East Indies, which proved it was possible to reach Asia by sailing west from Europe.
So, very good. So now you know.
That's who that man is.
That there man, Madrone.
He's actually kind of ugly. Sorry.
Wow. You're going to offend his descendants. 500 years later. He's a very Chabonaire-looking man. He looks like somebody just slapped some clay on a skeleton and put fake eyeballs on it. I could just be a bad artist for the painting. Now we're offending the artist.
You're offending his bloodline.
I'm making too many mouth noises today. Thanks for adding to that. Future Katy, I'm so sorry.
And for our future update as well, we got portable recording mics. So now when we do snack time, we're going to record our snack times, and you can see that on our Patreon.
Yep. And we did attempt to do this on Patience's phone for the first time, so we're going to post that. We're going to try and clean up the audio a little bit, see if we can get it better.
A little rough.
It's very rough, because my kitchen is very large and echoey. It doesn't have a lot of decor in it at the moment, so... Decor. Yeah. It's a pretty big kitchen, so the sound isn't great. So we got some new recording devices.
We're upgrading. We're slowly getting better. Just bear with us, people.
Yeah. We're trying to, we're trying to not bankrupt ourselves for, something that's just kind of more as I don't know. Not that you guys that are listening don't matter, but we don't have a giantly large audience right now to support financially, so we have to stick within our budget of just slowly improving things a little as we go. And that's fine, because we're do darn good with what we got.
Do darn
We're diddly darn good. Okay, we gotta clink.
Okay. Also, this is our last full gummy of our second jar. We have a booster dose left, but we just did our second jar gone. So the first person, or our PP, we did something stupid, and we signed our first bottle of gummies that. Yeah, it's just a stupid little thing.
Yeah, we thought it'd be fun, like a little souvenir. So we did that a while ago. We signed our first jar when we finished it. So
That was a while ago, because that was last
So
year.
that will be included in the snack package. So submit
Oh my
your quotes
goodness.
now. Get them in. Get them while they're hot. Wait, the contest is already over because it's going to air in February. If we're doing another contest, get it in while it's hot.
I just thought, okay,
You thought? Oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry. when we first, Katie was the one that converted me to the gummies. And then slowly,
Like the religious cult.
remember when we first started, we talked about like doing something like this, and we're like, yeah, we'll never do it. Because we talk about doing stuff all the time and then we never do it.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're actually doing it.
I know. I'm really proud of us.
I know.
Future patience. Future Katy. You go, girlfriends!
I really, this makes me really happy because I feel like we accomplished something that we always said we were going to do, and now we do it, and we do it on a regular basis to hang out with each other and just to like have a good time. So,
yeah.
On that, we clink.
On that we clink.
Clink. I'm
It's a good
nervous.
clink. You always say I'm nervous. Every clink you say I'm nervous. And then it makes me nervous. And then I probably making myself nervous. Or making you nervous.
Okay.
This one.
This is the purple one.
The purple one's usually been pretty good to us in the past. It's good. You got your Skittles gummies I set right next to you. Because I take good care of my girl. For those that are new here, we like to eat our Delta 9 gummies. These are 15 milligrams, Delta 9, 50 shades of green. We'll take their 30 milligram gummies, cut them in half, and do just 15s.
And
So a lot of times we'll post gummy the gummy.
Uh-huh.
So we'll do like Skittles gummies afterwards, Lifesavers gummies, just to clear the marijuana taste.
And then we drink it down with Alani. Alani, sponsor us. I love you. I'm drinking the cherry twist tonight. I normally drink the cherry, but the cherry twist is like on the top of my radar now.
I've got watermelon wave. It's okay. It tastes a lot like just an alcoholic beverage without the alcohol, though. But
Alani now has the protein shakes, which I had to try.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like them. They're good.
They're not bad. They're pretty good. I'm not a big... I like Premier Proteins. Protein shakes pretty good. Well, yeah. Bear with me. There's going to be a little bit more chewing. For those of you that are new here, too, we also don't edit out all our chewing because we're fatties and we eat a lot, and it's way too much work. So,
We want it to be all natural. We want you to feel like you're sitting next to us.
I just
Listening to
pictured
us
us
chew.
recording Patreon videos with, like, giant bushes out of our armpits. Like, on natural, baby.
No, hold on. Your niece.
Oh my
The other
gosh.
day.
Do not remind me. Hannah, I love her so much. Freaking, she randomly decided to have one armpit shaved and let the other grow out to see how long she could let it go. So she's sitting there.
So
It
funny.
was like this like little fluff. It looked like she shaved off the hair off of the head of a baby and just glued it onto her armpit. It was the grossest.
It's so funny.
To each his own. Like, I know some women can get away with that, and more power to you. I feel like it would be way too itchy. And also, I'm just too socially, like, I have not been raised in this generation. I know it's supposed to be, like, all accepting if women want to look... You know what? I'm not judging other women. I just can't do it. I will judge my own family, because...
I don't even know what brought the conversation up, but it was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "You want to see?" And we're like, "Yeah."
It was so traumatizing.
Oops. Shaka shaka laka.
Okay. I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Katie does read her story tonight. It is Katie's turn. Last week we talked about space.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't listened to that, I don't know why I say watch, but if you haven't listened to it yet, that was episode 10, space.
Yes.
Today, Katie's topic is...
Our drum hole was... We need some work. It needs work. Sorry, I have an itch on my ankle, and I cannot ignore it.
ASMR.
That felt really good, actually. All right. I'm going to preface this with... The first time I heard about this subject, it was a long time ago on a different podcast. And it kind of rocked my world. It was really interesting. And...
Rock my world!
Which sounds horrible, but... Because it's... You'll find out why.
I will have questions. I will
Okay.
have questions.
Good. I hope you have questions. I hope you have input.
Because we will give an disclaimer.
Clink time. Sorry. Go ahead. I just realized.
I know Katie's topic, unfortunately. We share a Google Drive, and I, saw it. But the funny part about the story is I was actually going to talk about this in my topic next week. Mm-hmm. So now I got to come up with something new. So I am really excited because I didn't do my research yet for it anyways, and I didn't go, deep dive or anything. There are a few things that I do know, and there are things about those things that I do know that I want to ask questions about.
Yeah. And I'm very upset about it. I love shocking patients and just giving her surprising, I don't know, she's got good reactions. So for me personally, I find it more entertaining to just kind of see her face, get her genuine reaction. So when I found out that she had heard of this and knew this, and not only knew this, was debating on doing it as a subject, first of all, I was glad that I beat her to it because I've been wanting to do this for so long. We're talking back when I first started podcasting with patients. Can you believe that was back in May?
What?
Yeah, our first episode, when it was posted, it was the late spring, beginning of summer.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because we didn't have regular scheduling back then. So we went too far between our episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm so proud of us.
I'm very proud of us. But anyways, I was so mad because I sat there and I was like, TJ, come here. I was like, I want to tell you about this real quick because I think patients would really like it, and I want your input because I think it'd be really interesting to learn about because it's just a fascinating. And so I went in, I gave him the gist of it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, definitely, she's gonna find this interesting." So I'm so mad that you heard of it just a week, or you said a couple weeks ago. Yeah, she just very first heard of it.
I found it it came up on TikTok.
I just realized we've been dancing around the topic this whole time and not even said
what. We're
people
building
are probably
it up.
shut up.
But also, I'm hoping that this is a longer episode because there's so much in this that I have questions about.
And that's where I'm nervous because I want to do it respectfully and give good information, but there's this is one disclaimer. This is an episode that I'm sure lots of people have done. It is a long series spread out among numerous episodes. I am smushing it into one of our podcasts because A, we get high in the middle of reading this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And B, we have decided a while ago that we are trying not to do two-parters. We may revisit that in the future, but right now we like it to be one succinct episode where, if you want to make it a second part, you can just pause it at any point and resume it later.
We can always do a follow-up episode of let's circle back to this.
Yeah, circle back. Full circle. We're always full circling. She just does a little handshake. All right, so without further ado. So, I had this whole intro prepared because, and I'm going to go through it as if you don't know what the topic is because you ruined it for me. I love you so much.
But what if some of these people have never heard of it?
That's true. I don't know why I said it in that tone of voice.
Give them the experience of a lifetime. Only on IMAX.
Okay. Sponsors? I don't know. All right. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. The story that I'm about to tell you is very sad. It's very strange. A little scary. It's completely factual and has been researched up and down, and yet it's still one of history's greatest mysteries today. What we're going to talk about tonight is something known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Have you heard of it before? I don't know, patients. Have you heard of it before?
I will tell you now, the name of it, I am not going to keep pronouncing it. I do not think that I can say it when I'm getting high. I don't think I'm going to say it normally. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to come up with a code name eventually, and that's what's going to be called, so...
I am sure I will mispronounce names, and it is not meant to be disrespectful in any way, but we are very illiterate Americans. All right. So buckle up, because we are going back in time. She's putting on her seat buckle. That's great. Thank you. Your pledge allegiance to this. We gotta tell the story at some point. Not tonight, though. Write that down. Pledge allegiance. All right. We're going back in time and traveling very far from home. The year is 1959. Sadly, it's the year that the music died. The day the music died. Buddy Holly and the people dying in the car crash?
Nope.
Really?
No.
Write that down. Day of music.
1959. The day music died.
Okay, you know the song Bye Bye Miss America? You know that song?
Mm-mm.
Well, okay. People, this is what I'm working with. How do you expect me to work in this environment?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the year the first NASA astronauts were introduced. The year Barbie dolls made their debut.
Whoa.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah. And it's the year Fidel Castro was sworn in as Prime Minister of Cuba.
The Cuban Missile Crisis. Full circle.
Full circle. We talked about that forever ago. All right. So this year, 1959, on January 27th in Soviet Russia, a group of 10 people, students and graduates of the Ural Polytechnical Institute, all set out together on a grand skiing expedition in the Ural Mountains.
I'm going to throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
It is only 3 days away from that day. How many years ago? How many
You're
years?
right. You're right. 1959. It's very sad. I'm sitting here trying to frantically math in my head.
74 years ago.
Very good.
Super good. So almost 74 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, long time ago.
My parents were alive.
That's so depressing. Well, we're not going to get any less depressing here, so let's just dive back in here. So these 10 people, students and graduates of this Ural Polytechnical Institute, all set out together on the grand skiing expedition in the Ural Mountains. Sorry if you hear clunking. I think there is a cat doing something, and I don't know what. They're rebelling again.
The cat army.
So this was not their first rodeo. These were all experienced hikers and skiers ranging in age from 20 to 38 years old. Although most of these people were in their early 20s. It was a lot of young people, and you can tell by all the pictures it's really sad because...
Please say you're going to show me, because the video, I don't want to see yet. We can get into it later.
Girl, that was the next thing on my agenda. Look at these gorgeous faces, and look how happy and excited they are.
So, the only thing that I saw about this was like an AI animated video of like what happens later. So I didn't get to see what they look like or anything like that.
So there's a few of them.
Are they from Russia? Like they're Russian.
Mm-hmm. Soviet Russia.
He is so cute.
I know. It's honestly, it breaks my heart, but it's... Wait, you have a crush on the dead man? What are you doing?
No.
Calm down.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm not high yet, but Katie, I just like pictured like what he sounded like, and the last things like he said, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so like." Imagine someone saying, "I'm excited to go on the skiing expedition, and I can't wait to do this," and then they
We are loaded in the back of a truck on the road on the way.
And look how happy they are.
They look like just a normal group of young adults. Just
I don't know about this guy. He looks sus.
there's one of them with a little bit of a. Then again, the pictures we took earlier had some sus moments in them. They look pretty stupid. So
True.
okay. Sorry, I gotta find my spot here.
Sorry, I got us off track.
No, you were fine. That was exactly where you were good. So that's what they looked like. That's what, and this was a very well documented thing. Like they had found a couple cameras on the group, and they found diaries. So there are records of some of what happened in this trip from the group itself.
Does it say how long the expedition was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So on January 28th, one of the members of that group, named Yuri Yudin, fell ill, and he decided to turn back towards the last inhabited settlement they left from the previous day. He had health issues in general, and he just decided to head back before they got any further. So that was one person that just had opted out. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't make it. I'm not feeling well. And so the leader of the expedition, Igor Dyatlov, he told Yudin that he'd go ahead and he'd send a telegram to their sports club letting them know that they returned. So he's like, okay, when I get back here, like, you go on home. When I get back here, I'll send a telegram. I'll be like, okay, we're back. We made it safe. So Dyatlov told him, I don't plan on it being later than February 12th. Mind you, it's the 28th. He's like, I don't think it's going to go later than February 12th. We should be back by then. It might be delayed by a few days. And
The expedition.
yep.
Okay.
He's like, I'd be surprised if it wasn't delayed by a few days, but I'm going to plan on the 12th. So February 12th comes, and it goes. And no one is immediately concerned because he said, well, it was common for things like this to not be exact. And this was before cell phones existed. This was not...
That's crazy.
This was a long time ago, yeah. By February 20th, the family members of the students all demanded that a rescue operation be sent out in search of the group because no one had heard anything from them. What they would find would baffle scientists and investigators for decades, and what exactly happened to the group is still a hotly debated topic to this day. So everyone pooled all their resources to try and find these people. The school sent out a volunteer search party, and they even got the police and the military involved with helicopters and airplanes flying all over for a search and rescue. Finally, on February 26th, so 14 days after he thought they'd be back from the trip, a member of the search party stumbled upon what was left of their campsite. Inside were some supplies, a plate of food, a flask of vodka, essentially all of the group's belongings for the most part, and even most of their shoes were all still inside the tent. The tent had halfway fallen down, and it was buried underneath some snow. Not totally buried, but some snow was over it. So I'm going to show you a picture of the tent. And it, wasn't much to look at here, but that's what they found.
I'm going to be very observant.
Mm-hmm. I told her I was going to quiz her just with a few questions afterwards.
Yes, so I'm trying to really pay attention. First thing I notice is this a cross.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That
could be a pole of a ski, though, because think of it's hard to tell. The pictures aren't great quality.
Yeah.
Something better.
I think we're allowed to. I think we should post these on Instagram. Or TikTok, maybe just kind of, that way you guys can kind of see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want to...
I know a lot of podcasts have blogs where they'll do that, but... Excuse me. Ghost orbs.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm in it now.
All right.
I have my own theory about it.
Okay. I will be excited.
I'm excited.
So once we're done with everything, I'm going to go through and I'll tell you kind of what I think and what I thought before I did my research. And
I'm taking notes.
Excuse me.
I'm so proud.
All right. So this tent. I'm sorry. I don't know. I took a drink of my drink and all of a sudden it feels like it's bubbling weird in my throat.
Bubbles.
The tent had been slashed open from the inside.
How do you tell if something's been slashed from the inside?
My guess is, the threads specifically, they're bent outward and not bent inwards. Because think of it, it's usually made out of a nylon material, so it kind of holds a little bit of shape. Think of the reusable nylon bags that people use for groceries sometimes, right? They kind of have a little bit of crinkle to them, so the threads, they're made out of a plastic. So that probably keeps a little bit of shape, especially in the cold when it's more rigid. But also, presumably, the way the flaps of the tent were laid out.
Oh, okay.
So if they were spread, picture yourself opening a book and spreading it that way, I'm assuming. I'm no expert in it, obviously.
My first question as well, I know I'm going to get us off topic.
You're fine.
I wonder how much it snows there. Because if there was snow on top of it, was it... It's obviously has to be from snowfall. I don't see trees hovering over it.
There were a lot of pictures from the group that I saw. Well, I say a lot of pictures, but there were some pictures that I saw that they took pictures and it was actively snowing and wind blowing, in the photos you could see.
Did you say where this was at?
Yes, it was in the Ural Mountains in Russia.
Ural Mountains.
URAL. I might be mispronouncing that, but the internet sucks, and that's what I have to say to that. So with this tent being slashed open, it just gets more and more bizarre the more you know about it.
No shit.
Footprints were leading away from the tent that appeared to be made with bare feet, wearing just socks, and then someone had just a single shoe on. So, footprint experts, they pointed out that oddly, the pattern was made in such a way that it didn't even appear that the footprints were made in a hurry.
Okay.
There were no signs of struggle, no unknown sets of boot impressions. We're not in Scotland. There were no signs of a struggle, no unknown sets of boot impressions from other people, and no animal tracks to suggest what had happened. It looked like they simply walked calmly away from their tent.
Question.
Yes.
I'm gonna hit you with these.
Do it. I don't know why I said that 3 times.
So, if snowfall was happening, how could they see the prints?
Obviously not enough snow had happened. Or, you know how, like...
I guess, like, because think about the timing, okay? So, like, it snowed. This happened. Now, all that snow was on top of that tent. Like, they can barely see the tent. Like, from the thing, you can barely see the tent.
How could they see the footprints?
Yeah. Or sorry.
You're fine.
I have a holes in my mouth. How can they, like...
There were places that the boot prints were covered over by snow or blowing snow, but not all of them were covered over. I will say that.
Okay.
So, because there was a point in the trail where they, like, the footprints disappeared for a little while, and then they resumed because of snow covering.
And this is, like, the last camp that was known.
This was
the last camp that they set up, and now...
This was, like, the campsite. Like, this was the big...
Home base.
The big home base campsite that they... Yes. So...
Calmly walked away. Interesting.
Because they said footprints look different when you're in a hurry and you're running, and these did not look like that.
Which is so weird that forensics can tell, like, if someone's running away or walking away. Like, that's so strange to me.
I also have a theory that could be trash, but think about it, like, sometimes when we used to have snow in the winters, I kind of miss it just a little bit. But you know how sometimes you'll have snow and it's, like, crispy on top because it freezes really hard, and then there's dry snow that goes on top of that, and, like, different layers of snow, different types of snow. So it could be that the snowstorm happened and it was, like, melty enough to keep the prints, but then soft powder snow drifted over it.
And that's what I'm picturing in my head when we talk about, like, prints like this. Because for me, it's like, I want to know, I guess it's because I really just want to see a picture of what those prints look like. I'm guessing you don't have one.
I don't think in any of because I do have a whole bunch of them saved in one specific blog that I found that's not in English, but I didn't remember seeing footprints.
Okay.
Jinx. Pecans?
Murder. Dang it.
We'll get it next time. All right. So they followed 9 sets of footprints. Remember, Uden left. So it was 10 people, Uden left, and they followed all 9 sets of footprints away from the tent to the nearby woods, down the mountain, a little less than a mile away from the tent. She is writing so many notes, you guys. There at the forest's edge, they found the remains of 2 of the hikers. Again, I apologize, but I do want to say their names because they deserve to be said, even if they're said poorly. The 2 hikers they found at the forest's edge were Krivonishenko and Doroshenko. You don't need to remember these names. It's a lot of people, so they deserve to at least have their names be remembered.
Okay, so I'm guessing they're a couple, somehow related.
There's 3 Yuris in the group. There's a lot of repeated names. There's lots of Ovs and it's very Russian.
Oh, good.
Very Soviet. All right. So these guys were situated by the remnants of a small fire, and they were only wearing their underwear.
Turn the page. Okay.
Neither one of them had shoes on either. They were underneath a tall Siberian tree, and the branches had been broken up to 5 meters high in such a manner that it seemed like one of the group had climbed it, probably in an attempt to find their tent again. Like, say they had gone off in the middle of a storm and they didn't have visibility. They were probably trying to get the high ground just to see how to get back to their base. I don't know why I'm doing weird hand gestures, sorry.
It's okay. I was doing it all day today. I kept going. And so.
Between the tree and the tent, that's where they found 3 more members of the group.
I have a quick question. Okay, so they're a mile away from the first place. So we just talked about the home base.
Yeah, a little less than a mile.
And then at the site of the 2 people where the branches were broken, there close by there was another tent. Is that what you mean?
No, the main tent. So I'm talking
home base.
This was from the home base.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Okay.
Home base. 3 people.
You are in this. I love the attention span. It's better than...
Because I feel like I need to solve a mystery, and I'm like, time out on the story. We did a murder mystery
it was
case.
Really fun.
We were going to do it on Patreon, but It took us 3 hours.
Yeah.
I also did it while I was high, and I was really proud of myself because we were in it.
Yeah.
The game was so specific that there was business cards that you would actually have to go to the website to find clues.
Yeah, it was really cool. We want to do another one.
10 out of 10. Like, would recommend, get this. It's at Walmart. It's like unsolved case files.
Maybe you can write down and we can post like a link just to tell people what we're talking about. But it was really fun.
Sorry.
Yes. Back to the story. Between that tree and the tent, they found 3 more members of the group. Kolmogorova, Slobodin, and their leader, Dyatlov. All had frozen to death in poses of what appeared to be an attempt to get back to their first tent, their main tent there.
God, I don't understand how you can predict somebody's actions when they're dead.
Well, literally frozen in poses. Like, in the
Are they
directions.
standing or are they in the snow?
They're in, like, they were kind of like, some of them were curled up in the snow. A lot of them were like fetal.
Can you tell me when people...
By the way, sorry, real quick disclaimer. Anybody that wants to Google this, if you Google, there are images of these people. If you do not want to see
please
them.
tell me you're going to show me some dead bodies.
Oh.
R.I.P. to these people, but... Oh my gosh, I'm so
Hell.
excited!
They're going one-way ticket to hell, first class.
Maybe I'll see Constantine there. No, he went to heaven. Dang it. Anyways.
I
was just about to ask you. That's so funny, because I was going to say, do they, like... Because they're obviously frostbit, so the skin looks a little different than, like, how normal people would die.
Yeah, their skin did darken and kind of mummify a little bit with the cold.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see. Okay. Continue.
We are who we are, people. Love it or leave it. Alright, so those 3 people had frozen to death in what looked like an attempt to get back to that tent. Although, there was a slight fracture to Slobodin's skull. I'm probably butchering that name. Slobodin skull.
Girl, you're... Okay.
I'm doing my best.
Hold on. You're like, I don't want to offend these people. You want to know how I'm writing it down because I'm not going to remember? The one, Como. Other one, Slobo.
They sound like
Dyatlov is what I wrote for the other one. And I wrote Captain in front of it.
Captain.
This is... Okay. The other 2 people that were found under the tree... I put Cree, like creatine, and then Dora.
Jeez.
So yeah, I think you're doing just fine, okay?
Jeez.
Continue on.
Alright,
Fracture.
so he had a fracture, a slight fracture.
Slobo.
Oh my god.
Slobo. Sorry, continue.
It was, like I said, you don't need to remember their names necessarily.
I do.
I mean, you do, you know what I mean.
Okay, he had a fracture where?
Yeah, a slight fracture to his skull. It was concluded that all 5 of these people that were found had died of hypothermia. All right? Investigators didn't find the remaining 4 of Dyatlov's group until months later on May 6th. The discovery raised even more questions than ever before. Did this raise questions with you? Am I going to proceed, student patients?
How far were these missing people, the others?
Wow, that's a great question. They were found in a ravine beneath 13 feet of snow, about 250 feet further into the woods.
Then
The woods were down the mountain, so there was a little bit...
Okay.
So the tent was a little bit further up the mountain, less than a mile from these woods. Because it was also... There was conjecture on the reason why they pitched a tent in the side of the mountain versus with the protection of the woods. And the Yudin, the member of the group that knew Dyatlov, was like, well, he either didn't want to lose the altitude they had gained from that mile, he didn't want to backtrack, or he wanted them to practice because they have to like build the tent into the snow, into the mountainside in the snow. So he either wanted to practice that with them or he just didn't want to lose. So
okay.
That was just a random little blip there that I didn't even have written down in my notes.
As real quick, the ravine. Are we talking? Okay, when I think of ravine, I think of a Minecraft ravine. Okay,
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
but
like
13
that.
feet deep.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
beneath 13 feet of snow in the ravine.
Oh.
I don't know how deep the ravine was.
Okay. Because to me, a ravine, you would notice a giant crack in the earth, kind of thing.
If there was snow buildup, though, might not see it until it's too late.
Ravine?
I don't know. I didn't see an aerial picture of how wide
Question
the
ravine later.
This ravine's suspicious. I think it's responsible for something. Okay, why don't we do a quick level check? I think I'm a 1.
Oh, dude, I'm at, like, maybe a 2. I'm already starting to be giggly. I love when it's not my turn. I can just sit here and be like, da-da-da-da-da.
That's very helpful. Thank you for your contribution to the subject.
I think I'm doing great.
You.
That's why I'm taking such detailed notes, Katie.
You are.
Everything you're saying, I've written in. Look,
do you realize I have them all written down here? If you want a copy, I can send it to you.
If anybody wants our transcripts,
oh my gosh,
our scripts, our skits, schizophrenia.
Okay.
Full circle.
That's a story for another day.
Okay, continue. Sorry, ravine later.
All right. So I did convert these to American measurements to make it easier.
Oh, I love you.
Yes. So 13 feet of snow, about 250 feet further into the woods. 3 of the bodies, because I found 4 people, 3 of the bodies were dressed better than the others. It looked like they had taken the clothing off of their fallen group members and used it to help keep themselves warm. One girl, Dubinina, was wearing the burnt trousers of Krivonishenko, who had died by the fire. And she had a torn jacket wrapped around her left foot and shin.
Question. Already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She was wearing the burnt clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know someone. Do we know how it got burnt?
We just know that there was a campfire that was died out by those 2 people that were on the edge of the woods.
Okay. And then she had a jacket wrapped around her ankle and her shin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Her left foot and her shin. So, Dubinina and 2 others had died of severe injuries that were compared to that of a car crash. They had major chest and skull fractures. And oddly enough, there were no external injuries associated with these fatal wounds. So, couldn't even really see it. It didn't look like someone had taken a bat to them, but they had those injuries. So it's theorized that they were subject to high levels of pressure, such as a snow slab. Think of it like a hardened brick of an avalanche would be a snow slab. Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now because you don't know. I wrote avalanche as you said that. Mm-hmm. As you said the word avalanche, because I'm like, okay.
That, you're going to get so sick of hearing that word, it's going to be your new cartouche. Because we are going to talk about them. The anger you... Cardouche. It's more like cartouche, I think.
I wrote her name Doobie. Like a doobie.
That's...
R.I.P.
Oh my god. Wait.
I'm sorry. I'm not good with names.
Sorry. Alright. We're going to get into the thick of it. Dubinina. She was completely missing her eyes.
No eyes.
A part of her lips, some facial tissue, a bit of her skull, and she was missing her tongue. You raised your hand like you wanted to say.
Was she alone? Was she like how far apart
they
were
they? By each other,
like in a row and like
they weren't like I don't know. They were all nearby each other. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Next victim. You're doing the like cat drawing with her like notebook up thing.
My arms feel really heavy.
Really? Jeez. All right. So, by Dubinina was Zolotaryov, who was also missing his eyeballs, and then Kolevatov, who was missing his eyebrows. All 4 of these bodies had been found in a stream, and it was determined that the tissue damage was inflicted post-mortem. So as much as that's horrifying, they believe that it was because of the stream and, like, predators taking soft tissues.
Okay, so they were found in a stream. But, post-mortem means before they died.
Yes. No, after.
After. Duh.
I don't know why I agreed with you.
Okay.
So it didn't look like they died from losing... It looked like...
When we say tissue, are we talking just like little pieces?
Yeah, like
of the
grab
skin?
your cheek. That.
But like a whole big chunk, or like just part of your, like... You know how like skin has the layers?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, is it like... I'm going like too deep into this, I think. But like, you know, like when you burn yourself and then like the blister goes away? Like,
it was like
skin?
deep pieces missing.
Deep pieces of tissue. Got it? Deep tissue missing.
Mm-hmm. Why are you giggling at that?
Because, Katie, I feel like I'm nerding out really bad with my notes. I could so give another presentation on this. That's how, like, detailed I'm being. Sorry, continue.
Although the casualties were 3 people... Okay, sorry. I misread my notes. Altogether, the casualties were 3 people who died from fatal wounds and 6 that died from hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, because I know you, and you're going to be very curious, I have a blog link for you to click on here.
Sorry. But that's only 9 people. Oh, that's right. The one guy left. Mm-hmm. They're all accounted for.
So I'm going to send you, and I'm sending patients a link to a blog that had photos. So I'm going to take a minute, and I will warn you, it shows Duanina.
I'm so excited.
Okay. I need you to not be as excited. I don't know what I need from you. You are smiling really in a not healthy way.
So excited.
All right. So it's in your phone. I sent it to you.
How many times have I been asking for pictures of dead people?
I know. You know that gentleman that you really liked? He is in there. It shows how they found him in the snow. So that was really...
Is
that
this
was
where
sad.
you got all your... I mean, it's in Spanish. Or no, it's in Spanish?
Spanish. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I found a random Spanish blog because it had the best variety of photos of different versions of the scene that you don't see initially. So, anyhow, I may link in this blog. If I'm feeling frisky.
Oh my goodness, look how young this guy is.
I know, yeah.
I zoomed in on the headstone.
She's showing their headstone. There's photos of how some of these people were found, photos of the tent. But yeah, it's a very, very graphic, so I don't know if I'm going to share the link for it because it's out there. If you want to find it, you'll be able to find it, but...
Okay, this is going to be a lot of dead air for a second.
That's okay. I can do the magic of pausing. Bloop, bloop.
Continuing. Sorry. We are back.
Okay.
Kind of in and out. Sorry. We
had to look through the photos on this blog, so...
Very, very... Oh, but there's more than that, right? Like, there's way more? Is that what you said? Like, all the cameras and the diaries and stuff, like,
yeah,
there's more than just that.
Yeah, there are more photos out there, but a lot of them were classified and didn't get released from Russian agencies until way after the fact. Like, there was a lot of uproar because a lot of those files weren't released, and that's what caused a lot of these conspiracies, because everyone's like, well, what are you guys hiding? So...
Okay, gotcha.
So what did happen to these poor 9 souls out in the Ural Mountains? Well, there are plenty of theories to go around. We're going to go through them. The first theory. It's probably the easiest theory to dismiss, but some pointed the finger at the native Mansi people of the area. But not only were they indigenous people who lived in peace, there were also no extra footprints or tracks that support the theory whatsoever.
Okay.
And don't forget, it was determined that the fatal injuries that were inflicted had extreme force behind... Sorry, one of the cats is chasing a dog or something out there. But the injuries that they had, it was extreme, like the force of a car crash. So a human being could have done that damage on their own. And doctors flat out said, no, this wasn't a human attack. These were like car crash injuries, full crushing of bones. So, the next theory is that the group found themselves unknowingly in a patch of military parachute mine exercises, and that a nearby hiking group was said to have reported seeing glowing orange orbs in the sky. And did I mention that they found radiation on some of the clothing? So if the group heard explosions in the night, they might have jumped out of their tent and fled the area, fearing that it was an impending avalanche. So getting into the geological... What was that? Did you hear my throat do a weird clicky thing?
I'm so focused on what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm just like...
So, getting into the geological portion of it. Katabatic winds are a specific kind of wind, and it's very rare and strong, where it can do damage specifically to stuff, or it can trigger an avalanche just with the way the wind's going. It has to do with, like, the temperature and the air pressure. Something about descending wind. Cold wind. Yeah, that's it. I didn't do a lot of research into the wind and avalanche portion, but I did basic. And I'm getting up there, so I gotta finish this. I'm getting to like a 3. All right. Focus, Katy. You've trained for this. So, the katabatic winds could have triggered avalanches. But some say that even a hurricane was possible in the area, because yes, I'm about to blow your mind. It turns out there is such a thing as Arctic hurricanes. I didn't know that. I thought that was really weird.
Isn't that how we get the Arctic blasts? No. God,
I don't think so. I think that just has to do
with... the highest thing I've said tonight. Jeez.
You know what? You're an Arctic blast.
Oh, and you're a Baja blast.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Baja blast sponsor. Oh, okay. Yet another theory is that a specific kind of infrasound created by the wind moving in just the right way through the mountains caused the group physical discomfort and drove them into a panic. Like, just the right wind frequency, and then it creates a sound that drove them crazy. Problem with that, don't forget, those footprints didn't seem like panicked footprints, so I'll leave it at that. There are even more... Yes, in the back? yes, you there, with the hair.
Okay, so I really need to ask you a question, and I want to see if you can, help me with it.
Okay.
My kid's drawing.
What do you think my child drew in the middle of the...
Okay, you said the first home base, okay?
Yes.
I'm drawing for her. Mm-hmm. So, home base. The next tent was south?
Well, the bonfire remains.
Yes.
I didn't see a secondary tent. But I could have just missed.
But that's all downhill, because they ended up going downhill?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to theoretically.
Yeah, so say there's your home base in there, and there's the edge of the woods. Okay. And then further down from that's a ravine.
Thank you. This is what I needed, because I'm trying to visualize how this is going. Mm-hmm. Okay, but there was 3 people, not in the ravine, but
there were 4 people in the ravine, 2 people at the woods, and 3 in between the woods and the original remains of the tent they found.
Whoa.
Is what it said. Wait, that math isn't math. 3.
3. That's not.
Okay. I gotta focus.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Alright. So, there are even more wild speculations, such as a lover's quarrel that split the group, animal attacks in general, or even a Yeti.
I knew it.
There's a lot of rabbit trails that could have gone on with the Yeti that I wanted to, but I was like, let's make that its own episode.
That's how...
Mythological creatures series, where you and I take turns. One of us does History of a Unicorn. Write that down. Mythological series. We might even make it a Patreon exclusive content right there. So, future Katy and Patience and future people. Stay tuned.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah.
Good job.
We could do it over, characters too, Grecian gods, or what, we could do it over.
I love it.
Alright. I'm going down the rabbit hole with different series we could do based on that. I really gotta focus. I need to finish this up here. None of these wild theories seemed likely, though. Although, it was interesting to learn that sometimes hypothermia victims can exhibit what's known as paradoxical undressing, where they have a feeling like they have a burning sensation on their skin, and they feel the need to take their clothes off and try and get relief because they feel like they're burning up. So, yeah, paradoxical undressing. However, with all of these theories, the most probable explanation is simply that the group either experienced an avalanche that blocked the tent exit, or they thought an avalanche was starting. and they all fled their tent in a panic. Like, all of a sudden they heard the signs, and they're like, oh, shoot, we got to get out of here. We're going to suffocate. After, like the middle of the night, because they're all in their PJs to begin with, so they must have been sleeping and heard a loud noise or heard what they thought was snow falling and just ripped. But, yeah, that it wouldn't make sense. Like, I would think that there's a need to... Part of me thinks, if I were thinking I was going to die, say a tsunami was going to come and hit me, like, would I take the time to unzipper the front of the tent, or would I literally just rip my way through it? You would think that, like, it would take them a minute to find a knife to even rip the tent open, so that's a little confusing as to why it wasn't just zippered open. But, in a panic in the moment, okay, whatever. So, obviously I'm no geological expert, but I did find one interesting fact that I didn't know. Another interesting fact I didn't know, I should say, because I did find a lot. According to Wikipedia, contrary to popular belief, avalanches are not triggered by a loud sound. Like in all the movies you see, it's not like, oh, shh, be quiet, the snow, it's going to avalanche. Is that grammatically correct? It's going to avalanche. Sure, we're going to go with it. So yeah, that doesn't trigger avalanches, loud noise. So what happens is avalanches are triggered from the snow being disturbed. And they had to cut into the snow to make a flat surface to pitch their tent on. And so the way it was when they cut into the snow, think of it like making out. Like here's the mountainside, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you had to cut an L out of the mountainside. Like you dig in a flat surface for your tent to sit on, and then part of the mountain is closer to the side of your tent, provides you some shelter and protection, and the other part is flatly exposed to go back out onto the range. So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why don't we just say, oh, it was an avalanche, okay, that's probably what happened, that's most likely. It explains the injuries with the pressure. Here's what goes against that. There were none of the telltale signs of an avalanche left behind in the aftermath at all. It didn't look like an avalanche had happened. The snow that was covering the bodies was too shallow. There was no damage to the tree line. You would see that with an avalanche. And the area itself isn't known for being a hot spot of activity like that at all. They can track like what places have more avalanches, and this one was never known for it. It wasn't a likely place. In all of the journeys and expeditions there since, which have been over 100 people have gone back to, or over 100 expeditions have gone back to the site, not a single one of those 100 groups saw an avalanche or any signs of an avalanche in the area. All those people. So it just happened to magically go in this unlikely area, and it left no evidence behind except for these people. Odd. It's a mystery. The land isn't set up for it. And the way the tent collapsed, if it was an avalanche, the tent collapsed in the wrong direction. The snow would have slid over it sideways instead of the way the snow fell. So that is another clue as to, that is our anti-avalanche evidence there. And then, yeah, and lastly, if they fled in a panic from the tent, and they were if they slashed their way out of the tent, right? If there was an avalanche, and if they panicked and cut their way out, and had to get out, and they had to get out now, they didn't even have time to use a zipper, then why are their footprints just walking? Why aren't they running footprints?
Did they all die relatively, like, same day? Is it days apart?
It was within, I think it said 6 to 12 hours after eating their last meal were most of the victims. I don't remember. It was all very close together.
Okay.
It didn't... I don't think it varied very much.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Actually, that was where I was going to wrap it up. I was going to say that's the tragedy, and that's the mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident. I wouldn't have even made it to the first village. I would have been too cold. I would have been like, no, I'm too fat and cold. Let me go back to get some vodka.
I have my theory, but I had to draw pictures. Because I'm so high that I don't think words will compute.
Do you think you blew past a 5? Or you think you're a peak 5?
I'm getting to a peak 5.
Nice.
Peace.
On the mountains. Full circle. No. I was trying to make a respectful full circle salute. Like for the dead. Oh, we should do that when we Time of death when we go to bed. Full circle, like time of death, like. Burr, burr, burr.
I'm so glad you're still like recording during this pause time.
This is where we get the genius idea. This is a preview of what snack time is like for us.
Oh, dude. So
I went to dancing, Katie. Don't know what happened there.
my favorite thing about like our snack times is I feel like it really brings out the like
Genius ideas.
after what we talk about, I feel like we become so like smart where like we're asking more questions during snack time. Like normally we talk about the episode.
Yeah, we
during
dive into
snack
it a
time.
little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, we do
And
kind of
it's like
continue
we
it.
kind of like,
We start really going down the rabbit trail with our
Yeah,
wild
yeah,
theories
yeah.
and ideas.
and I feel like that's what is happening right now. And I'm like, the snack time!
Yeah. I'm
I
glad
wanna
I
get my
got through it for
theories.
them. I only had those, like, I was going to quiz you, but after that we can just talk.
I really want to be quizzed.
Yeah.
Really bad. Do
I
you
only
have
had a
questions?
few random questions
I
for
love
you.
it.
Actually, I
Well,
guess I could do that now while I'm waiting on Elijah.
Okay.
Or I could just put... No, because I don't want the crumblies in the background, because if you see something that sounds cool, I want to be able to clip it.
Cool.
Snip,
Okay.
snip. Our Patreon package is circumcised.
I really like this
I
topic.
was just gonna make a joke about like how we'd send kosher, like Jewish something, because circumcised. But
I really like this topic. And I'm glad that you got to do it because I don't think I would have given it as much justice. Like, to be honest with you.
I feel like I really wanted to dive even deeper and talk more about each individual and like do backstory about like what each person wanted to do with their life and why they were going to school. Like, I really wanted to do that, but the reality is like Kelly, if I were to do that, I wouldn't want to do that on a high podcast because I don't, again, like, even though we're
Ooh.
disrespectful, I wouldn't want to be disrespectful.
Future update. Maybe Sober Katy can get into her, like, story time modes. And maybe you could just do story times, like, for Patreon. Just, like, exclusive one-on-one, like, story
like
times.
reading the...
And maybe going, like, in-depth, like, I mean, who cares if you have Patreon, so...
Wait.
Like, you can go
You said
in-depth
story
about
time,
more.
and I was thinking of, like, scary story time.
Well, that's a good one. Future Katy, write that one down. But
You
the
can
other
do,
one-
like, interpretive dance in the background while I read.
No,
I don't know why I said that. My genius ideas.
okay, so no, you can do like sober follow-ups of the stories.
Sober
Are you
follow-ups of the
finished?
stories.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's Elijah.
That's Elijah.
He just waved.
He's not gonna be right anyway.
Okay. He's my
Keep it
special
in.
boy. Oops, sorry.
No, I like the sober follow-up videos. No, we gotta finish the episode. Or no, we gotta finish the
She's yelling at me because I pet the microphone because it looked soft. All right.
Back.
And we're back.
Thank you.
Wait, that's our breaking news. I said we'd make a pause noise.
Katie is going to quiz me on some questions.
Yes, I am going to... Ooh, okay. This is how we do it. This is how we rate how high we were. We're going to give each other similar difficulty questions. I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to make up 2 more. Okay? We're going to keep a score.
I like
Post quiz. Like 0 out of 5, 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5. How many you got right?
Okay.
And then we can compare how smart we were.
Okay.
I think this makes sense when I'm sober.
No, I know it makes sense.
Okay. Okay, level check real quick before the quiz.
I'm definitely at like 6, 7.
Yeah, I'm a 5.
So
I'm getting to like a 5.5.
we're trying to wrap this up so we can get to snack time.
Yep. I'm going to blame Elijah.
Okay, questions.
Answers. Wait, no, questions.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready? Number
Yes.
1. We gotta keep score too. Because we're gonna have a grade.
Score. How many questions?
I'll give you the few that I had written down, and then
Okay.
we can add more, and
Okay.
we'll decide how many seems right for scientific purposes. All right, question number 1. What is it called when a hypothermia victim removes their clothing?
Paradox undressing.
Ooh, very...
Dude, I have trouble with words already, and this is a big word. So give me the bonus that I know it's a big word, and I'm
You were
high.
so close. You're missing 2 syllables.
Paradoxal.
1 syllable.
Nope. Parakeet.
You have a parakeet.
No, I'm getting close to the mic. Oh, stop.
You're also going with your fingers, hands.
Parodontical.
Nope. Worse. for further colder.
Okay, I give up.
Oh, bad joke.
I give up.
All right, it's called paradoxical undressing.
Like, sounds like icicle.
Very close.
I'm
I'll
getting
give
the
you
point.
half a point. You
I'm
didn't.
high.
You missed 2
Nope.
syllables.
I'm in my...
Okay, cheating already. You heard it here live. I'm not live. Why am I Mrs. Doubtfire?
Okay, that was question
Dude,
one.
I have a Mrs. Doubtfire.
Ooh.
It was a drive-by routine. Okay.
Continue. Next question.
Oh, look, you keep giving me. It's so
Sorry.
cute. You remind me of like a journalist interviewing somebody. And what did you do then?
Actually,
All
my
right.
notes look like this.
Good luck reading them later, sober patience. All right. Your next question is, what is the name of the tree that some of the victims were found under? You were thinking
No,
about how
I
you
know.
Side.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Ow.
Can I have a few guesses?
I'll allow it.
Siberian?
Yes! Wait, that's only half of it.
I just did a little dance because I was so happy.
Yeah, but you're good. You're not done yet. Final answer hasn't. You can.
Okay.
Siberian.
Redwood. No, that's California. R.I.P. to the people that died there.
Okay.
We're getting dark.
Like we weren't already? What?
Siberian? Is it blank? Like, is it 3 words? Or is
Siberian
it like
is 1 word.
And then there's just 1 word.
It's 2 words.
But they're
Siberian
not
blank. Am I
like...
making
The
sense?
first thing I thought of was Siberian tiger wood trees.
No.
Now all I can think about is Siberian tigers just wrapped around trees.
Tiger Woods. I don't know why.
Siberian...
Tiger Woods. Do
Siberian...
you think they did that on purpose? I never thought about that. Why are we focusing on this?
No, I need to think
A
of the question.
Siberian...
Is the last word tree?
No. It's not Siberian. I said it was 2 things.
Okay, I just
Siberian
didn't know.
blank.
I didn't know if it was like Siberian blank trees, like California redwood trees.
I'm doing like a Scouts honor thing, and I don't know
So
why.
it's not like that. Okay.
No.
Siberian. I keep saying it.
Yes.
Do I get any hints? Can I call in a friend?
Okay, I'll give you. I'll. I got you. I'll take you there. Are you ready?
Mhm.
I'll try and get a little clue by little clue.
Mhm.
All right. We're gonna do a sub score here. 1 out of 5. How many clues does it take? All right. So, cold weather. What kinds of trees withstand the cold weather? Out of all the trees, out of all the year round when we even deal with trees.
Oak. No trees.
Okay,
Fir.
focus. Winter.
Winter.
What's the first word association? Ready? Go. Trees.
Winter.
Christmas.
I know this.
Cold. Christmas.
Pine.
Yes.
Siberian
Ding,
pine.
ding, 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 ding. Siberian pine. That's probably really loud. I'm sure. I'm so sorry, you guys. High five. Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait, high five. That is it. Okay. And then... Mm-hmm. All right. Next question. How many people in total
9.
lost? 9.
The one
That's
turned
correct.
back.
Mhm.
Dude, I got things to say. Remember my hypothetical I need to give later.
What is the type of wind that it is theorized was in
Girl.
the area?
It started with a K.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't pronouncing it. I know it starts with a K, and I was listening. Not carousel. God, no, cartouche.
Cartoon.
Okay, I don't know. I know it starts with a K though.
Catabatic.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna remember that. I didn't write that. That's what. See, this is where I stopped note taking. Was after certain parts. Dang it! Stupid me. Excuse me. Do you have any more questions?
I can make more up if you want. Otherwise, I think I just did 3.
I'm ready to do my hypothetical with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I have like all these questions, okay?
All right.
That are like out there questions. So I think I think this is good.
Do we want it to be a Yeti? Obviously. I mean, let's just lay that out there. The elephant in the room.
Okay. I have a little drawing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my take on, like, where they all were, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're really close to the mic. I am. Hi. God.
Wait, Valley Girl patience.
No, she's dead. No one killed her.
She lasted one word.
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm so sorry, I'm so loud. Okay, so this is my little representation, okay, to try to picture things. So,
Ziboosh.
my first question. The footprints came out from home base, right?
Yes.
Like they were leading away,
Mm-hmm.
calmly.
Mm-hmm.
That, I'm trying to picture, like, where they were first and how they got to where they were. So I'm, like, trying to picture why they went there and their reasoning why. Like, that's how in deep thought I am about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dubreen?
Debris?
That lady.
Dubinina.
Sorry. I think she was found in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Something, this is what I think, I want to theorize about, like, what happened to, like, the person.
Mm-hmm.
I think these three people were with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, like, the campfire.
Okay.
They had been together at one point. Because if she had the clothing of one of them...
They had to have been together
Mm-hmm.
after the first group of people died.
So, I think somehow these people traveled together. Okay? And somehow she got hurt. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay, so somehow she got
just
hurt,
dropped
right?
her book on our table.
Because why else would she do the jacket thing? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I think something happened where it woke them up in a panic or something. And somehow
She may have wrapped her leg because she was just trying to stay warm. Who's to say that she had previously injured herself?
And they can't tell because is there no, like, skin?
Even if she had broken her leg, who's to say if that didn't happen after she wrapped it? Like, and just wrapped it for warmth.
Not that, I think it was more, like, the way, like, the clothing that the extra clothing, it just kind of sounds off. Kind of like someone who was hurt and, like, trying to just pull it together until they could get somewhere safe. So, I think something happened in there. And the tent that was ripped open, my thought is, these people, something happened to where it trampled the base. Not an avalanche, something happened.
Mm-hmm.
They left, these 5 people, or sorry, 6 people. They started traveling. And they must have, like, oh, this is going to make sense later. I know it is. Basically, at home base, those 6 people got out of whatever trampled their, like, thing. And they left.
Okay.
Because they couldn't, like, they were trying to find the other 3. Maybe they spent too much time there.
Wait, you just raised a really good question I thought of. Hold your thought, because I'm going to lose mine if I don't say it.
No.
Okay? The way it looks, because of the 9 sets of footprints, it looks like they all left together at the same time. But what if the 3 people... Okay, this is going to make sense later. What if they did leave in 2 separate groups from the tent initially? What if someone did leave, like, through the door at a normal pace walking, and then, like, just some people that were left behind, that, like, the 3 people, what if they did leave at a different time?
That's what yeah, okay, we're on the same track.
I think we are. I know we're not describing it very well, but there's nothing, like, I assume they were all together, and then just a couple parsoned off, but... Yeah, it could just be that they were there all along. I don't know. No. You know what? No. That doesn't... that doesn't make sense. Because why would one group of people let the other group of people leave naked if they weren't in a hurry? Or, like, without shoes. Because a lot of them were missing their shoes, right? So the group that stay behind, say you and I are out, like, with the family... If the family leaves in their underwear, we're not just going to sit here and let them walk and leave and separate from us. We're going to stay together because I'm going to try and get them to come back. Am I making any sense?
I need... Okay, hold on. Ready? So, my thought was, you know how the tent was, like, basically ripped from the inside?
Mm-hmm.
I think that part of the tent became to where he couldn't get out. Like, the snow came on top of him, and then it was ripped open from the inside for him to get out. Okay? And that's okay if they're in their underwear. So, because it would make sense if they were sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you want to be warm. Never mind, that's stupid, but...
I'm just trying to think of a night where there were theories about them all being like a different relationship with the lover squirrel thing. But then Yudin was like, no, everyone, and even people at the university were saying that they didn't exhibit, like, it didn't seem like any of them were in a relationship with one another, and that drama didn't exist with the group. And some people thought magic mushrooms, but because they were actually common in the Urals. I don't feel like I said that really weird, but people say that. But the group had sworn off cigarettes for the trip. So why would they be swearing off cigarettes and still do magic mushrooms on the side of the mountain? Okay, real quick. I want to go take a snack break. It's prime snack time, but I want you to state your theory of what you think it is.
I think that... Okay, I think something happened.
Well, wait. No. Detective Patience is on the case.
I don't want to lose my thought.
Something happened, people.
Okay.
Picking this.
Let me finish my thought, because I can't get it out. I'm not going to remember. Basically, snow somehow drifted down the mountain, landed on their home base.
Mm-hmm.
I think people got out of their tents that were maybe stuck. I know, like, we talked about it, there's no signs of an avalanche. I'm thinking, like, maybe there's something else that we just don't know. And those 6 people got out, and I think one of them got trapped in the tent and ripped it open.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their stuff was, like, maybe they had to get stuff, not naked, but, like, maybe they're, think, Patience, think. I'm losing it now. No. Like, no clothes thing doesn't make sense. That confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be a reason why. So then these people take off, and there's only one set of prints, right? That just slowly walk. I think the person...
I mean, there's 9 sets of prints. There's 9 sets, it's mixed prints. It's like socks, bare feet, and a shoe. That's it. The prints are all together. It's not just a couple prints, it's 9 full sets of footprints lead.
Okay. So now all 9 of them leave.
Mm-hmm.
This thing just happened. I think that since you know how you said they, like, put the tent in the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, like, a failed thing of that. However that's called. Like, I think it wasn't... Something happened...
So you think they cut into the snow and they triggered...
Yes. So then the captain was like, okay, let's just go in the wood lines now that this didn't work. Let's just go somewhere this way. And I think that maybe while they were grabbing maybe some of their gear when this happened, he sent 2 of them off, 3 of them off. Oh.
Sorry.
It's been an hour and a half. I think he sent people out to go scout.
God, full circle.
While he helped kind of, like, gather materials and stuff from this failed thing, and was like, okay, we're all gonna go.
Can I tell you my theory? When you're done with theory?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, I know they climbed up in the tree and stuff, so I think that something, like, happened there. Like, with the 3 people that went off or whatever. I think that they got lost, and they went up in the tree to go, like, see where these people were, where this happened. Like, maybe they wanted to see it. So then when... I think something happened, because you said the 5-meter branches, they went up them, or they were broken?
So, 5 meters high, the branches were broken up to that height. Like, various ways. Okay. It wasn't like all it wasn't like the branches were just all broken off 5 meters high. It looked like somebody had broken the branches while they were climbing up to 5 meters. Does that make any sense?
Yes. So, okay. I think something happened with that, and they were looking for the other group. Now, I think that the other group knew something was wrong, or maybe he climbed up in the tree to yell for help or something, and then all those 6 people that are here go towards them. Mm-hmm. And I think that those 6 people, when they get there, like, something must have happened for him to yell for the help. Oh, dude, I'm, like, building a story, and I feel like it's so stupid. Are you following?
I'm following, but I'm also trying not to forget my theory. And I just realized I was leaning far back. Hello.
The 6 people finally get there, mm-hmm. and I think some of them are injured. I think some, like, they had, I know, but not like, oh, no. I think something must have happened to where they, like, were injured or something. And when so then, since they're crossing to, like, go help their person, they didn't want to lose the tracks in the snow to see where they went. So that's why all of them walked, like, there's, like, the 9 sets. So, like, okay. And it would make sense why it's calm. So then, I think something happened when they get here, and they just knew that they had to build a fire because it was getting cold. Mm-hmm. And, I think somebody's missing out of this group, but it's that one guy that was stuck in the tent. I think they think he was, like, they couldn't find him, he was dead or something, like, buried under the snow. So I think they left somebody behind here to like, wait to see if he, like, comes back, like, they knew he'd follow the footprints. Comes here. I want to give up on my theory. I want to give up on it. I think it's sounding stupid.
I don't think it's stupid, just the different groups and why they're separated. I think it's interesting. Scout?
There's just different parts in it, like, that I think they, like, traveled together because someone was left behind or someone was injured and they're looking for people. Like, I know it's a few hours, but I think something, like, in that realm. Like, I think someone was missing or injured and, like, something had happened and, like, they left people at an outpost to be like, okay, if she's here, then follow our tracks to this place. We're going to go this far south. And then, like, because did the captain know the route they were taking? Like, has he done it? Did he do it before?
I don't know if he had been I know he had been very, very experienced, but I don't know if he had already hiked in that area or not. I can't remember if this was the first trip or not.
I guess I want to read more into it, like, where the captain was when he died, if he was way back here. But I feel like he was like, wait, there's a water source here, we'll build a fire, blah, blah, ooh. Excuse me. They'll build a fire, blah, blah, blah. But then they realized it was a ravine, and then they, like, got swept. You can't get swept away in a stream, right?
I mean, you saw the amount of water itself, though.
But let's say, like, because in that temperature it would have been ice, so I think that
I feel like my theory, once I tell you, you're going to be like, oh, that makes sense.
I can't wait till Jaime comes back with this thought. I think I do want to do a follow-up of this episode of our sober hypothetical in much more sense. That's a great idea. In much
more sense?
Shut up. Go. Just do yours. I will explain when I'm sober.
So, what I think happened was and there have been a lot of studies that do believe the avalanche theory is the most logical. So, even though there weren't signs of an avalanche, here's what could have happened. Okay. The group, in the middle of the night, while they're down to their undies and their pajamas, I think they woke up to a big chunk of snow starting to fall in their tent. And it was fast enough that they were able to rip out of the tent in a panic because they thought they were going to get buried. So they just ripped their way out. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I think what happened was, even though the experts that looked at the footprints say it was not footprints in a hurry, maybe the footprints were made in such a time where the snow was at just the right stiffness to keep it. Like, even if they were running, maybe the footprints maybe that wasn't true.
The layer of
maybe
ice
they were running and it just, like the way the snow was, it didn't look like they were because the evidence was hidden. Okay. So, I feel like that's going to make sense later. But anyways, so my theory is that they got woken up by the snow falling and they just immediately, like within a 2-second span, they jostled each other awake and they ran because they saw some snow. Not even an avalanche, but they saw a large enough amount of snow come down and hit their tent to make them feel like it was a big avalanche. And what ended up happening was
was not a big avalanche. They ran out for nothing, for just a small amount of snow, but they had already gotten most of their equipment buried.
Yeah.
And they were already kind of separated because if the wind was blowing and we're blizzarding, it's going to just go from 0 to 100. It's going to go bad like that.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, they're all in a panic. They're running away from the snow that they think is falling and causing the avalanche, right? And they're all together and they get to this campsite and they try to build a fire. And they're all together, all 9 of these people. They get to the edge of the woods together. Mm-hmm. But they're in their underwear. They got nothing with them. They all kind of hobble together and they start a fire. And they all try to stay warm and stay together around it. And then they go, guys, we got to go back for the supplies. There wasn't that much snow. It wasn't a full-on avalanche. We're idiots. We got to go. We probably just killed ourselves. And so one guy's like, okay, let me climb up in the tree and get a better view. So he climbs up in the tree, and he's looking, and he's trying to see like where the tent is because it's blizzarding out, and they just panicked and ran, and they can't see how far it is or what. So climbs to get a line of sight, all right? And then I think that they're all staying together, and a couple guys are like, I'll go get the stuff. You guys all stay here. I'll go get the stuff. So they go up, and they start to try to get the stuff, but the exposure of the wind freezes them while the rest of these people are huddled here. And I think 3 of those frozen people were just making an initial attempt to go get supplies. Then, as they're sitting there, everyone's...
Side question. How long does it take for someone to develop hypothermia and freeze in place? I want to know, like, that because I'm so down with your theory right now, and that's exactly what I'm picturing in my head, and I can't speak it. So, continue. So they freeze in place as they're going back to the campsite.
They're literally in the middle of going. Like, I don't know how quick, but I also don't know how hard, like, if it's a steep enough slope, it's going to take you a minute. You're not just going to waltz over there. Like, you have to physically climb, and it takes longer than normal, because it was only 0.93 miles, I believe, less than a mile, from the tent to the woods. So it was a good length of ground they had to cover. So not only was that, but it might not have been easy.
Exactly. Okay, so they went back.
So, yeah, those 3 were like, oh, good supplies, and they never came back. And the people at the campsite are panicking. What do we do? Well, let's try and let's just get down the mountain. Let's just try and get, like, back to the village as quick as we can before we freeze to death. So they're like, let's go. And then I think what happened was 2 of them were already frozen to death by the time they made that decision. So the 2 that were frozen by the fire, I think those guys stayed behind. Well, no. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I'm going to mess with my timeline. All right. So rewind. And edit that out. All right. So we're down to 5.
Mm-hmm.
No. Math sucks.
6.
3 are in the frozen. All right. So you got 6 people around the campfire. Back at that point. 2 of them do die off. They try to all stay together. 2 of them don't make it, and they have hypothermia. The 3 that are left, they go, including Dubnina and not Koroshenkov. I'm sorry.
Those people.
Those 3. They're left alive, and they say, okay, let's take their clothes. Maybe we can try to make it. And then in the process of them trying to make it further down the mountain, the ravine was covered up. Like, there was enough of a little slab of snow overlooking the ravine. They stepped on it, and they all plummeted to the bottom. And they all got injuries from falling at the bottom of the ravine. And it wasn't even an avalanche that caused those injuries. It was just them falling in the snow.
I'm going to be so real with you. I think that, Katie, when you edit this, my thing that I was trying to talk about, like my theory, you just said it 10 times better. It's just that I can't think it. Like, you and I are on the exact same theory, and that's what I was trying to describe earlier. I'm 100% with it.
Timeline of our...
I think I definitely agree. I think something happened to where something did fall on the tents, or like somehow snow infiltrated on top of them and they were trying to get out. Like that, like it just makes more sense. And I think that
it must have been an avalanche, but a small enough one not to have left geological evidence and like damage to the tree line and stuff. Like if it were just enough snow to force them out of their tent and down the slope more, because the tree line is a mile, so it had to have been a pretty large amount of snow, but not enough to leave the normal giant damage. of an avalanche. I don't know. That's wild. But anyways, yeah, that's Dyatlov Pass.
I guess, see, and then there's, like, questions in our theories, though. Like, there's 9 set of footprints, but did it ever show, like, footprints coming back? Are the footprints going one way? Did they, like, trample around a little bit? Was there any, like...
yeah, exactly what was the movement of them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the footprints thing is just a little confusing because there's just so many things into it.
You know what would be interesting? If this entire thing were to happen in 2025, like, would we have this case solved immediately because of all the DNA and the boot tracks and our, like, radars? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
Google Earth,
yeah.
all that. If that were to happen 75 years from then, they would have all lived. Like, everyone would have known, or even if they've died, everyone would know what happened just because of, like, forensics advancements.
And then, like, them not having no eyes.
Billy, get your own podcast.
With some of them having no eyes, I think that there's wildlife in the mountains. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as far as, like, some people not having tongues...
I think that it was the stream and, like, fish in the stream nibbling out their tissue.
I think that there's just a lot of, like, yeah, things like that could be explained.
Mm-hmm. The radiation on the clothing, though, that was an interesting one.
Okay. No, I don't know if I should say this. Hold on, I'm gonna be like, pause in case we keep it in, and unpause when I don't know if we should end.
Dogs.
So, my thing is, Russia, they have nuclear things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
They have nuclear.
No, Katy, what's the place that's like the deadliest place on Earth for radiation?
Flour socks and back very comfortable. Patients, you're gonna know what I'm talking about when... Get smart! She's on a thought. She can't
hold on.
appreciate my reference to...
What is it called? Where the...
Nuclear radiation...
No, the cats are hurting the doggy.
Are they? Bullies, that's what it's called. Chiggy. No. Bad girl.
No, Hiroshima's in
Bad boy.
Japan, right? Why can't I think of this thing that happened? I'm thinking of the one that happened in Russia. What is it called?
An atomic bomb.
No.
Nuclear bomb. Oops, Cold War. Excuse me.
No,
Sorry,
Oh my gosh. Chernobyl. God, that took me so long. When did that happen? So this
just you literally light bulbed yourself. Chernobyl.
When did that happen? Maybe they're not.
Remember. The 60s, I believe. I think.
Was it roughly around the same time when they were like?
Don't ask me when the atomic bomb was invented. I don't remember.
No.
I'm not that old.
My thought is to the radiation. What if they were close to like something that was nuclear? Because during that time, the Chernobyl thing was going on. So that place has so much radiation. What if it was just stronger then? And they were. I don't know how close this mountain thing is to like any of that close area. But what if they were just getting slight radiation because they were close to... I know this happened after, but there had to have been, like, anything
it
nuclear
could be
close.
coincidental radiation from, like,
yes.
something like that, yeah.
That's my theory on the radiation part. Because I don't know. I don't like the bomb theory.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the mines, the parachute mines.
Yes.
I didn't think if there were people that really saw glowing orange orbs, though. I don't know. That say there was a parachute mine that did blow up, it could have still sent them into a panic. Sorry, I said sorry to the desk.
Oh, you did. But no, I get what you're saying. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So like, if
but
a loud bang in the middle of the night, they ran from their tent. The only explanation for that situation would be the blizzard was so heavy that the second they ran from the tent collapsed, and they couldn't get back in it. But there wasn't that much snow bearing the tent either.
Basically, our theory that we have, that you just made, we could add the mine theory is what caused it.
Instead of like either an avalanche that's an actual avalanche slab.
It would explain the lights, and then it would explain why there could have been like snowfall, or a larger amount of snow, like not like an avalanche, but enough to bring it down onto them. And with those blowing up, it would be loud, and it would.
But as we have learned,
I was really
avalanches don't happen from sound; they happen from snow disruption.
Yeah, but you're telling me if
No, the parachute mine could have physically disrupted the snow, but all of these animals can just go die.
Okay. Anyways.
I mean, here at Gummy Buddies, we support animal-free cruelty. We just support the cruelty to the people.
So, on that note, that has been Katie's story.
That's been my story. I didn't even get to tell you my really fun theory either.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I just, real quick, I also, that's the avalanche thing is what I think happened. But I would really, really love it if it were a Yeti. I wanted to be a Yeti so bad. And then, there's this dude, there was a tabloid that supposedly, was doing DNA samples and was trying to find out if they had Yeti DNA on the corpses and stuff, too.
How do you know?
They'd zoomed someone's body.
No, how?
It's Raspberry. The whole crew's here.
How do you test for Yeti DNA? Where is your DNA to test with it?
What?
No, when you do DNA testing, they have to take 2 samples that match each other.
Oh, what you're trying to say is how would you know
sample?
it's Yeti DNA if we've never had Yeti DNA?
Yeah.
It wouldn't match any known living DNA. And it would be in the same familial category scientifically. The same class. You know how there's Homo sapiens? I feel like this will make sense later.
No, I got it.
Okay, I'm
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I keep on hand gesturing and karate chopping.
I'm going a lot. Sorry, I just realized I'm doing it.
So, our eyes have, communicated, and we're snacky. And this is a good time. Level check! You made us blow past the 5, by the way, by postponing snack time. I'm at a good, 7.
Oh, I'm 8 or 9. Also, it's been 20 minutes over the time we said we stopped recording. So
I know.
We're finally doing snack break, and then we're going to come back and we'll wrap up. So,
yep. Yep. Thanks for bearing with us. Nope, I'm not signing off yet. I'm just saying thank you. All right, cute snack time noise. All right, guys, and we are back
from snack time.
Yep, we're going to do a level check.
Level check. I think I'm back down at an 8 or 9.
I'm at a solid 9 at least. Maybe a 10 in and out.
We just did our snack time recording for the first time. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a little bit, it was a little bit over what it would have been.
That's okay. Because our 20 minutes isn't always 20 minutes.
Yeah. Darn right.
So it's been 30, actually.
Mm-hmm. Power to the...
Which isn't bad.
I don't know.
I had a pretzel. A soft pretzel.
You said that? Pretzel. With such disappointment in your voice.
No, I really like it.
I had a pretzel.
And it's gone. I ate it.
Oh, the acting thing. The improv thing. I want to try that. Just you and me.
About that.
That sounds fun.
But I had the pretzel, and I thought it was really good. I had a soft pretzel.
And I had a scotcheroo, and I had a pretzel as well. One of her pretzel guns.
Oh, you gotta tune into our Patreon and see what she's talking about.
She was wielding good. But anyhow, so they were good. Scotcheroo, honestly, not as good as usual. Brought his strap just did the flip thing where it's you don't know it's flip the wrong way and then it just pops back the right way. Anyways, rudely interrupted by my own underwear.
I'm definitely excited to try a scotcheroo later.
Scotcheroo? Did you?
Okay. Pecans?
No. I just looked at the light. I can't. Okay, focus. All right. Yeah. And then the pretzel was a little bit better than the scotcheroo today, actually. But not. It was only a 7 and then an 8. So
we're going to go munch on some pizza after this and then probably...
I know the pizza's going to be at least a 9. I'm excited. Okay.
All
right. There's a ghost. How do you think a ghost cat would meow? Go. How does Tugboat meow? Go. I'm gonna kick your butt with animal noises if we're going down this road.
Okay, sweet. What were we talking about? Our rant. That's your dead cat?
That's my ghost cat noise. Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to hear that later. Shit. That's gonna be the best sound and the best clip. I think I'm gonna use it as my ringtone.
Okay. Calm down. This ain't the 90s anymore.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I love you.
Speaking of the 90s, do you remember how I randomly figured out that Zach from Saved by the Bell was on the new show Found?
Yeah.
Yeah. I transitioned so well.
That's your rant?
I had it under that I wanted to brag about that.
Okay.
I literally put it down. I'm like, I remembered who the guy was. Just let me add my content. I gotta say that I already said it, so I don't repeat it, even though I probably will because of my memory loss.
Oh, did you say you don't
Disney
have a rant?
movies. Full circle. What?
You said you don't have a rant?
No, I have a rant.
Oh, okay.
I might have ranted about it before, actually, but...
A rant about a rant. With those ants in your pants.
Why did you give me a sassy little look? All right,
Okay.
back to the agenda.
We did it.
Your rant.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go first.
Oh, I just said a thing. You say a
Okay. So my rant this week is when... So we are kind of like healthcare workers in a sense. And so patient care is like big. But I know I hate when patients don't give you the benefit as a doubt as a healthcare like in the world of it. Like I had a lady like curse me out on the phone today. And I was
like no respect that healthcare workers get.
And even like if you do something wrong, it's not like you're like this. You found a mistake for this person, and they blame you for someone else's mistake. Like I feel like that's it. Like that's like my rant. Like she cursed me out because she got scheduled at the wrong location, and she said that I did it, and then that my records were wrong, and all this stuff. And she's like yelling. And, like, that's, like, what really ticks me off. Is, like, I just want more respect on things that, like, you don't. Like, when someone says, like, they're not sure, like, you gotta, like, not... You can't just jump the gun and say that they did it. Like, you can't just assume.
Uh-huh. I had a patient call me today and tell me, like, she accused us of giving her a number that had her call a phone line that was trying to get her credit card information. She's like, you guys gave me this number, and I just need you to know so you don't give this number out to anyone else because it's asking for my credit card and they're saying that I want a gift card but I have to pay so much to get the gift card and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're telling me this number from this insurance company said this. And she was so insistent that we gave her the wrong number. And I'm like, you're not admitting that you could have written it down wrong or dialed it in wrong. Like, your first thought was we gave you a number for getting your information hacked? Come on.
Exactly.
I think stop peopling.
I just think like that's all my week was just people like no matter how good you did, they were just like you messed up. And like that's how my week was. So I'm like so glad that it's Friday.
I'm glad it's Friday too.
Tomorrow. Like I'm just
I have to wake up to see patients.
That's so hurtful. Oh my gosh, I just won't wake up in the morning then.
Oh, that's gonna be so good. Is that Valley Girl patients again?
Okay.
Alright.
Your rant.
My rant was just, I hate, and I don't think I talked about this, but I hate when people are standing.
Okay.
My battery just died. It's okay. I hate when people are standing there waiting for you to open your doors. It's the most obnoxious thing on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Do not line up before the doors are even open or windows are unlocked. Why would anyone do that? It's just, to me, it's rude.
It's rushing for no reason.
It's just, pushing.
Well,
It'll be to the point where sometimes, dead in the morning, nobody's around, okay? And these people will sit there and wait for the window to be open. And the second the window starts lifting, they come and step immediately right up to the counter. They don't even wait for the window to be open. They come and, get right up at the counter. When the blinds are coming up. I'm like, just
no, I so
away.
Get that. So when I
People.
go in, we just discharged a patient, and every morning, so, I get there, we don't have, a gate. We have a, it's so tacky, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The desk, it's open, and behind it is like a chain link fence, kind of like pole blind. Mm-hmm. It's so tacky, and like we lock it every night. That thing is so hard to like open because it snags on the like trolley thing up top. Mm-hmm. The pulley? Yeah. The ladies, this one lady, she would, as soon as she saw me like walk into the space, and I just turned the corner, she's standing at the desk waiting for me to take her payment, which that's fine. I'll like, that's my job. Mm-hmm. But it was like, take it now. And like, I'm not even clocked in. I haven't even opened the gate yet. I haven't logged in. Like, woman, I just got there. And I think that as like in the healthcare world, I feel like there's just more patience needed. Ironic, but it like ticks me off because it's like, I don't like to be rushed to begin with. So I get that.
Mm-hmm. And then I get annoyed because like, this tiny petty part of me is jealous of them for having enough time to be able to just stand around in putts. Mm-hmm. Like, I could never. I'm going. Every second I'm out of the house, I'm always on such a time crunch. And it's like, you have the time to just really piddle fart around, just putzing around waiting for a window to open. And there's just no social grace there. Like, you don't give anyone 2 seconds to, I don't know, drives me crazy.
No, I get it.
Or, like, it's gotten that behavior right there, the stacking, like, it's the race. Like, they gotta be there first. They don't want to have to wait for anyone, Mm-hmm. Heaven forbid they have to wait. So, like, I'm on a good point here. I don't want to lose it. Give me just a second. I'm losing it.
Competition to get to the front first.
Yeah, competition to get to the front of the line. So, like, I forgot the final thing I was going to say about it, but it just drives me crazy.
There's always some sort of competition to always be first for something that's so stupid.
The drive-through. I remembered. Sorry.
Okay, no, I got you back there. I'm there for you, sister.
Thanks, Yolanda. So,
the drive-through.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's like there's. Never mind.
Focus. Drive-through.
Drive-through. Did you just
focus? No, focus.
Drive-through.
Yeah, first people in line at the drive-thru.
So gone for lunch, right?
Uh-huh.
Car pulls up, sees that we're gone for lunch. The person in the drive-thru can see the sign that says, "We'll be back at 2." Uh-huh. And they know that nobody's there, but they don't care. They want to be the first in line. They gotta be the first in line. So they think, I'm just going to sit here in front of the drive-thru. And you know what happens? People line up behind that guy, and none of them are in front of the sign, and they can't tell that we're at lunch. They just think we're taking 30 minutes to help somebody. So the person sitting and blocking the whole window, nobody else can see that we're actually closed because of some selfish idiot that just wants to stand there and block the drive-thru before we open again. So then we get yelled at by people that are in line, and they go, I've been out here for 20 minutes. I've had that happen before, like 5 minutes after we open back from lunch. There's someone blocking the drive-thru, so get them out of there. And then the person behind them is like, I've sat here for 20 minutes, and they will yell at us. Not even realizing that it was because we weren't there.
I wish your store could approve something that you could hang, like, outside.
Yeah, I wish I could have, like, a sideways sign that everyone can see. Because people are dumb. And even though it's all over Google, and it's been the same hours forever, nobody remembers.
You know how, like, your drive-thru building, like, too bad they can't put, like, signs on the outer brick wall?
Yeah, like, just giving the general information.
Like, yeah, between this time and this time.
That would stop so many people from being, like, mad throwing fits. Like, if they could just see...
But I know in that part of the, like, in the business area, they're like, you can't expect somebody to read something, so you have to make it, like, dumb and obvious. So I think you'd have to have something dumb and obvious sitting out that was like, we're not here. Yeah. So, I get that rant. Dang.
Yep. That was my rant.
I feel better.
Yeah. I do too. I don't know why my voice is breaking, but I'm doing the slurring thing because my lips are going numb, so we're going to go ahead and...
We're going to wrap this up. We got pizza waiting for us. Oh, sorry. We're going to go record that episode.
Stay tuned for more info on a possible new contest to win our PB for February. Stay tuned.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you can find additional content on our Patreon at
Gummy Buddies Podcast.
It is for $3 a month. You get a video a week and stuffs. So stay tuned for more of that. It's a good deal. We're going to send out exclusive discount codes.
We will eventually figure out how to do that. It's on our list. Katy, write it down, smack patients, and say, do this. Actually, don't, because I know you will. Okay, calm down.
Oh, well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us.
And we hope you have a... This is on Valentine's Day, so I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day.
Yes. Single or
anything.
not single.
Do something for yourself. Treat yourself.
Valentine's. Yeah. Listen to Yolanda. All right. Thank you for being our gummy buddies.
I always say buddy. Buddies. Buddies. We're snakes.
Why did we turn into snakes?